Fayetteville Fire Podcast, your source for all the fire, safety, and sometimes random info you never knew you wanted. I'm Captain Steve Shakeshaft, your host for the podcast, and I got the best job ever. Let's talk about it. How's it going, Chief?
How are you today?
Happy New Year, sir. How was your New Year's?
Uneventful, which is what I like.
I like it. You get to go downtown. They said you were in the CIC for a little bit.
No, I stayed in there with Chief Autry until the ball dropped and people started leaving. And
I didn't even stay that late. We just got to get down there and enjoy for just a little while, but glad it was good. It's the first time in a while I didn't work. I didn't sign up to work, so I got to go down there, just do a little bit of work, and then enjoy the rest of the evening.
Yeah, I try to let our staff that usually has to work it have it off. New Year's isn't a big thing for me, so it doesn't bother me to work it.
Gotcha. So, wanted to talk with you getting into 2026, and there's a lot of talk about big projects coming up and questions about them, and the big thing that people, I don't want to say people forget, but we had an overwhelming support for this GO bond, this general obligations bond a few years back, and that's supposed to support some of our projects, right?
Yeah, the GO bond was supported by the taxpayers, and it is to build 3 fire stations. We're moving forward right now with Fire Station 16 on Cedar Creek Road, Fire Station 9 on Bonanza Drive, and we're going to do a remodel or a rebuild of Fire Station 2 in Haymont. We're still trying to determine that, but our hopes is that we can do a remodel.
So the 16 project, Engine 16's been in service for quite a while, and then we got that temporary station opened up. How'd that temporary station come to be?
Yeah, Engine 16 was opened in 2011, and it was originally running out of Fire Station 1 on Person Street to serve the east side of Fayetteville, out Cedar Creek Road to the I-95 corridor. In 2016, there was a building on Cedar Creek Road that Cape Fear Valley owned that previously housed ambulances, and they weren't using it anymore. So we went into an agreement with them to retrofit it and make it a temporary fire station. We added a bay to get that emergency equipment a little bit closer to where it needed to be, all to save seconds when seconds matter in an emergency.
That area it's exploding. There's new hotels come up out there, and that's all in the city, that whole area out there?
Oh, yeah. We go past I-95 out to about A.B. Carter Road is where the city is right now. And, yeah, that area is developing. There's talk of housing developments, and there's a lot of infill and growth, so we just need to be prepared for that.
There's already, in the last 15 years, 3 or 4 new hotels out there. I mean, it's just popping up like crazy.
Yep.
So, and the I-95 corridor, too, a lot of people don't think about that's ours, too, right? How many miles of 95 do we cover? Not exactly.
It's not much. It's just right at the 49-mile marker.
Just right there at the exit area?
Yeah, the county fire departments cover the majority of 95.
Gotcha. But that exit area is ours, and then we would also go and support the county
Correct.
with our mutual aid agreements anyway.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people don't understand is nobody cares what name's on the fire truck when it gets to your house, as long as there's people on it that can help you, right? So our folks work hand in hand daily with county fire departments. We go to them, they come to us, and everybody works together well for the common goal. So
yeah. So that new station coming, it's going to be a little bit further down the road, closer to that 95 interchange. And what can the community expect? Because right now, all we have is a building that houses fire trucks and a few beds. There's no space for good office spaces, or what can the community expect out there?
Yeah, this is it's going to be a state-of-the-art facility, but it's also a modest facility. We recognize the need to be good stewards of city funds and taxpayer funds. So while we want a good space for our folks, we also don't want to go overboard.
Yeah.
So this station is going to be state of the art. It's going to have what it needs, but there's going to be no crazy frills, no clock towers or anything like that. But it will house a community space. There is no good community space out there. So this will be a community room. There's also going to be a playground put on the property by Parks and Recreation that'll have a separate parking area and serve as a playground. So there'll be some separation between the fire trucks and the playground. So you know, those two don't interact because you certainly don't want a fire truck going out to an emergency with kids running towards the playground. It's also going to have the things that we are working hard to provide for our firefighters, such as separate spaces for their gear for cancer prevention. It's going to have your gear extractors and your washers and some separate sleeping spaces, separate bathing areas, all for the creature comforts that we need as firefighters, especially as we continue our goal of becoming a more diverse organization.
Gotcha. Well, you can officially take my name out of any running to go there, because with Starbucks across the street, I will go broke. If I can walk across the street or right down the street to a Starbucks, I would be in trouble. So I do not need to be assigned out there.
Yeah. There's they'll have options, so that's good for them.
Yeah. So we got that project. We're looking to turn dirt on that summerish of this year, right?
May, June.
June.
I'm going to be an optimist and say May.
Okay.
I'm leaning on our construction folks really hard. This has been a project long time coming, so we don't want to drag our feet.
Gotcha. So then a little bit further out, because you can do multiple projects at the same time, but they're in different phases. So a little bit further out, we just put up a sign announcing the future location of Fayetteville Fire Station number 9. What's up with that one?
Yeah, so Fire Station 9 was originally the Bonnie Doon Fire Department. I believe the annexation into the city was in 97 or 98.
Yeah.
And that fire station was built, I think, in the 70s or early 80s, and it was built as a volunteer fire department. So it was never built to house a significant number of firefighters 24/7, 365. While it served our purpose, it is time to move to a newer facility. And one thing that people don't think about, and what sold me to move it, was that corner of Bonanza and Santa Fe is just, it is busy.
Yeah, it's hard to pull out of there sometimes.
If it's not sometimes. If you go out there, and now in the morning time when people are going to and from work and the schools are letting in, and then in the afternoon when it's rush hour and people are trying to go home, our folks can't even hardly get off the apron. Yeah. And that becomes not only dangerous, but it slows us down. So it slows those response times. So I think it's better for everybody, firefighters and general public, for us to get off that corner. And we're going to move down the road on Bonanza. And some other things that helps out is our response areas. There was a little bit of a gap on the far end of Riley Road near base that we didn't have the best coverage at. And just moving it, half a mile helps that out a lot. One thing that people probably don't realize is we have a planning and research department that their job is just to pull maps and look at response data and look at heat signatures to see where the busy parts are and what road miles will get us to where our gaps are. And we take all these things into consideration. And it's actually very critical when we were looking to put these fire stations in place. So it serves a couple good purposes. It's in a better location for response, and it gets us off that corner.
Yeah, and I was assigned at Station 9 as a lieutenant for several years, and I plan on getting out there and doing a little video announcing a new station, and just thinking about the history at that station. The Fayetteville is obviously we rolled over some folks from the county when we annexed that area of the city, but the history never went away, and people who worked there worked here, and vice versa. And I just love. I hate that I'm going to lose Station 9 because I love the history of it, but understanding it needs to be done. The building's tired. It's been a long time coming that the building needed to be replaced, but man, I'm going to miss it. I love the history in that building.
Yeah, and we're going to try to move some of it. A staple of the Bonnie Doon community is retired Captain Mike Godwin. He served us and Bonnie Doon for over 40 years, and he was one of the rollovers that we called them, but right before they were annexed into the city, they were basically a city unit because they stayed in. It was constant, and all our folks worked together. And one thing we're going to do is each of our training community rooms we named for one of our retired chiefs. But this one we're going to do something different. We're going to break tradition. We're going to name the community room in recognition of Mike Godwin for his over 40 years.
The old mayor, the mayor of Bonnie Doon.
The Captain Mike Godwin community room. So we're excited about that. He deserves it, though.
Have y'all told him that, or is this
No,
the first time
no,
you're?
this
Is this
is
the
it.
first time you're talking about it?
I've told a few people on the background, but
Breaking news on the Fayetteville Fire Podcast.
And nobody's more deserving than Mike Godwin of that recognition.
You cannot go anywhere in Bonnie Doon, let alone most of Fayetteville, without somebody saying, Mike Godwin everywhere you go.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to that.
I like it. I like it a lot. So we got 9, which is, 9's one of the busier houses in the city. When we not only is the station older and needing newer facilities, but they stay hopping out there too.
Yeah, they're busy and they're going to continue to get busier. And it's one of our bigger houses. It has an engine, a ladder truck, a battalion chief. So more room is needed, more facilities are needed, storage space, all the things. So it's due. It's overdue.
Speaking of space, the opposite, limited space, we're also looking at some opportunities for station number 2, and that piques a lot of people's interest because of its location and its history here in town. So
yeah, Fire Station 2 is the oldest fire station in the city, and it's one of the oldest in the state that's still active. It was built in the early 40s, I think 41.
I don't know why I had 48 in my head.
Yeah,
the other day I had 48 in my head.
I think it was earlier than that.
Okay,
but I'm not gonna sign my name on that. But it was early 40s. Let's just say 40s.
Yep.
Still operates to this day, and I'm gonna tell you, some of the original fixtures are still in there. That place is wore out, but everybody loves it. Our firefighters don't want to leave it, and our community certainly doesn't want it to leave. We've looked, like I said, there's very small windows of area that you can move a fire station. And in this case, we're looking half a mile to a mile at max in any direction is about as far as you can move it. And there's just no land in Haymont. I don't think that's a secret to anybody. So we're hoping we're going to do a feasibility study to see if the bones of that building are still good, and I think they are, because everything that was built back in those days was built real. We're hoping to remodel it and continue it as a working fire station. My vision is it looks like 1941 on the outside and 2026 on the inside, with all the new amenities and creature comforts that everybody needs.
Yeah.
Now, that one will not have a community room. There's just no space.
Yeah.
No parking. So that'll be the only difference in that fire station than any other fire station. But again, it's a cornerstone of that community. People love it.
Yeah.
You talk to everybody that, the old timers now that talk about when they were kids, they went up there to the fire station and hung out with the guys and all that thing. So we have high hopes for that station. We're just gonna say it's gonna be remodeled. We're gonna will it into existence because that's really the best option for us.
I was never assigned there, but anybody who has ever worked there 10, 15 years ago, the best memories are sitting with Jackie Lee and a watermelon and just learning about Fayetteville on Engine 2.
Yeah, I was stationed there. Actually, I was working there on 9/11, and I worked there till about 2004. And it was one of the best times in my career. Yeah. I mean, that station, that area, that community is just great.
Now, how does it work? I know you're not an expert on the historical landmark status and how development works down there, but if we remodel it, we have to maintain the aesthetic, and we want to maintain, that is our goal. But in the event that's not possible, are we able to alter, go up? Are we able to make changes to that look, or do we have to build it back similar? Do you have any idea? I'm not even sure how that works.
Okay, so the station is on the local historical society rolls. I did learn that. It's not on the national rolls. Everything that we do to the outside of it has to go through a committee and be approved. And then you talk with the stormwater folks and the planning folks and all the things. And if you move the footprint, then you have to fall. We're no different. We have to fall under all the rules and regulations and meet the ordinances and UDOs. And I don't think it's possible to change the footprint of that building. So if for some reason we can't do a remodel, we're going to have to drop back and punt and probably look for some land somewhere.
I gotcha. But I'm with you.
But we're going to will it into
remodel.
existence. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great thing, and everybody's excited about it. Our firefighters, they're adamant. They tell me every time I see them, hey, if you can't do anything, just leave us alone. We don't want to move. We'll stay here. And I'm like, but the windows are falling out of the place, and they're like, we'll be fine. We'll tape them up. They just love that spot in that area, and they do not want to move. So we're going to try to make it happen.
Yeah. And kind of off topic, we're talking about the buildings and things, but it just made me think about it. Do we still have the exhibit at the Transportation Museum with a lot of the stuff from the history at Station 2? So if you're listening to this and you want a really cool experience, we used to have a history room at Fire Station number 2. Over the years, that's, we've needed some office space, some other things have happened, and the Transportation Museum downtown Fayetteville offered, and they came up with a plan. There is an awesome exhibit in that museum downtown of some historic Fayetteville Fire Department equipment and fire trucks. Does a steamer stay down there too, or just the
steamer and the 21?
The steamer and the 21 are both down there. So go check that out if you have the opportunity, because it is awesome. And we used to love showing people around at the stations, but it's obviously not practical to have folks coming. Like you said, there's no parking, there's no amenities there for anybody. So just go down and check that out at the museum.
And it's not ADA compliant, so it's hard to get folks in and out, and we want to be fair to everybody.
For sure.
So it was just a better place to put it down there at the Transportation Museum.
Yeah. So those are the big projects coming up. What else do we see coming up in 2026 in the new year? What big things on the plate? I know I just talked the other day with Gilbert about the next dog.
Yep, we have our crisis response dog program. We actually have funds for 2 dogs. The next one should be in place mid-February. They've got one more day of training at the end of January. The handler's already picked for that. And then our 3rd dog will probably come late spring. We've got to figure out our handler situation.
Yep.
That's a big commitment that people have to agree to. We hope to see some movement on Fire Station 4. I know that's what the big topic that everybody wants to know about, and even though we can't talk about much, we can remind everybody that some third-party experts came in and did some studies and assessments, and we're looking forward to those folks coming and presenting their findings to council and give some recommendations on the next steps. So we could actually see, and this is crazy to think, but we could actually see 4 projects going on at the same time. And the logistics of that are going to be something to deal with to make sure that we maintain emergency coverage.
Yeah.
Because when Station 2 goes into remodel, that engine has to go somewhere, but it can't go far because we still have to cover that area. So we're looking to move them up to current Station 4, and they can work out of there while the remodel's going on. Because there's obviously they can't stay there while it's going on.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things happening. We're always looking. Our fire marshal's office is very busy with outreach to make sure that our folks, our business friends, are getting what they need and getting prepared for their inspections so they don't have any troubles. We're always looking to improve that process. Our community risk reduction folks that you lead are wide open. They're doing some amazing things. We want to continue to increase that program and reach more folks with our smoke alarm campaigns and our carbon monoxide alarms and our education pieces to that. Our firefighters are always in a constant state of learning and improvement, with new technologies and new problems that we face. We're still dealing with learning how to deal with lithium-ion batteries and vehicle fires, different building construction. It's exciting, but it's also scary. We're going to step into uncharted territory with this apartment and hotel complex going on top of the parking deck.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's going to change a lot of strategies and tactics that we have never been exposed to, that other big cities have been exposed to. So that's going to be a lot of training and education. We just don't want to get behind.
Yeah.
We're not going to get behind. We're going to stay on the cusp of things and make sure we can provide the best service around.
And speaking of staying ahead of the ball game and continuous improvement, when you look on the sticker on our fire trucks, there's a number there that says 2021 to 2026, which means we are coming up on reaccreditation.
Yeah, I forgot about that, which
Yeah.
I shouldn't have. We're up for reaccreditation this calendar year. We look for those folks to be in the spring. A group comes in, they evaluate us and evaluate what we do and what we say we do, and make sure that all aligns. And with the good recommendation, which we expect to get, we'll be going in the fall to sit before the accreditation commission and hopefully be reaccredited for another 5 years.
And real quick, just to kind of catch some folks up, we had Todd, our accreditation manager. We had him on the podcast a few months back. But what that means is it's that process of continuous improvement. So if you don't know this, the Fayetteville Fire Department is an ISO Class 1 agency, which is rated by an outside agency that tells us we are the best of the best. When you think of ISO Class 1, you have Charlotte, Chicago, whatever, these big cities, and Fayetteville, North Carolina. But we can get better. We know there's always room for improvement, and that's what that accreditation piece is, right?
Yeah, it's a self-assessment model.
Yep.
So we look at what we say we do and make sure we are doing what we say we do and we're doing it properly. But what people get hung up on, and I have to remind them all the time, when you're number one, the only place to go is down. So it's actually
I haven't used that, but I like it.
It's more stressful and takes more work to maintain that.
Yep.
And I have to remind our leadership friends and our decision makers that when it's budget time, hey, just because we're number one now doesn't mean we're going to stay on the throne. With all the development and infill and changes, we have to stay current with that and keep up with that, which may require some additional units or additional things. And I say that jokingly. Our leadership supports us 100%. I've never had anything but positive. What do you need, Chief? What can we get for you, Chief? And so that's the thing. I don't want to be the chief that loses accreditation status or ISO Class 1 status, because that is not good for your career path, I wouldn't think. So we're not going to do that. We're going to stay up on all that. And our guys are ready. They've got what it takes. So
they stay ready. There's no running around trying to get ready, because we stay ready.
Yeah, we're good. And one thing I want to remind everybody of is all these projects, they wouldn't be possible without previous leadership setting the plan, charting the course, and that was with the previous Chief Hill and Chief Major, and city leadership support and
even
council
even
support.
Nichols before that.
Nichols.
I
mean, he was these guys set the tone, and we're just reaping the rewards finally.
Yep.
It's not like we started this a couple months ago and came up with all this money and all these plans. This has been in process for a long time, and that also includes city manager's office, construction management. All those folks played a role in getting these projects funded and moving, and we're appreciative of that. And and none of it happens without the support of the taxpayers of the county.
Yeah, I can remember in 2009, I think it was, and them coming around talking about accreditation, and here I am, this 3-year firefighter, going, "What are you talking about? What are you?" And really, that was the accreditation process to me stands out, because that was my young firefighter days. But I know there's been so much between Chief Hill, Chief Major, and even before Chief Nichols that that just sticks out in my mind, because I was the young firefighter going, "What is this
Nonsense? What kind of nonsense is this?" I was the same way.
Yeah.
But as you mature and grow, you see the value in things, and it's definitely for the benefit of the organization. And when the organization's better, the community's safer.
And you see the return in the investment. We're seeing the benefits that these things have brought us already. So it's good stuff. Well, we are running out of time, but anything else good for the good of the listening ear or the department coming into the new year, Chief?
We just want to remind everybody, do not lay your head down at night without a working smoke alarm. We're here 24/7 to provide you with at least one. Come make sure it's working, make sure it's in the right place. You can scan the QR code on all of our fire trucks on our website, or you can call the number that is 433-1115.
Or 16, either one. 1115 or 1116.
You call somebody and we'll get you
squared away. So
it's fire does not discriminate. It doesn't matter who you are, how much money you have, how much money you don't have. Smoke alarms are necessary for your safety. and they're simple and free.
And free. I like it. So, well, Chief, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for joining us on the Fayetteville Fire Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to Radio Fayetteville on all your favorite streaming platforms and listen to all of our podcasts. Join us again next month, but until then, stay safe, Fayetteville.